So what's up, everyone? Welcome to First Among Equals. I'm here with Jose R2 DCA, the homie. He's an awesome bootlegger, makes some amazing resin cast toys. They're legit. He's an amazing screen printer and just an all-around artist. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
So I guess the reason why I called you here tonight was just because I've been seeing your stuff for a long time, and I actually think that the stuff you're doing is so legit, and you have a very a very specific style. It's very similar to a lot of things that I do, and I think that I just really admire that you're very consistent with your work and that you're super passionate about what you're doing. So what made you kind of start doing all the things you're doing?
A lot of it comes from just wanting stuff that doesn't really exist. Like it all started with silkscreen printing.
Okay.
So making shirts that don't really exist, and they're not out there or mass produced. You know, there's always like band shirts that everybody has, or especially like in high school.
Yeah.
You know, there's only like certain places that would sell certain band shirts, and it's like everybody has the same shirt. It's like, especially as a fan, you want to stand out or you want to, be legit. So I remember we used to go to Uptown Whittier, and Uptown Whittier used to have like just sick as bootleg shirts, and whereas everyone else or most people would just go to like Hot Topic or the mall or whatever, and they would all have the same thing. So, and then that just kind of like piqued my interest in like, what else can we do, or if not, purchase things here, maybe we can make them our own.
That's what's up.
So that's what just kind of, the same thing with bootleg toys. It's like, what can, it's kind of like pushing what is available, or what, using this, like, what you learn, like how to make a toy or how to design a shirt, and then seeing how far you could take it.
Yeah. Well, that's really trippy because I feel like, at least for me, you and I have very similar styles on like what we like to get into, but creating toys and mashing stuff up was never something that I had even thought of really. Mm-hmm. And sort of you're saying like, yeah, you know how I picked up toy making, Lonnie. Like okay,
that's a thing,
I
just
know,
like, it's kind of funny though, because actually, so I started following some people on Instagram, and they were making bootleg toys, and I was like, what is this? Like, I have never seen like these toys the way that they're being made. It's like pieces of other toys, and they're being like not mass produced, but they're being made in multiples of like maybe 10 or 20, and they're like just super rad, like shit that you've never seen before. And the very first piece I got was it's like this punk kind of figure, but he has a TV head, and I was just like, fuck, that's like amazing. That's like, that's it right there. And so and then I was just like, I just started looking through it, and then I started looking through YouTube videos and just shit, I started talking to people and kind of asking for like tips and just trying to see what, how I can get into it, right? And so it just kind of blossomed from there, I mean, there's so much crazy shit out there, so many like really good bootleg toys and bootleg toy makers, and yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah,
I love it. I mean, I get excited anytime I see your stuff. It's like I'm not ready to do that yet, just because I spaz on stuff so hard, and I felt like just some of the stuff you've been doing lately, I've just been really excited about, and I was so in admiration of the candy machine.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, that was like, I was like, whoa. So I mean, and I love it because I think I thrift and I don't really junkyard but you found that.
Actually, my buddy did. So that was my buddy's idea.
Explain what you did so that people know.
Yeah, for sure. So my Instagram handle is DCA Toys, right? Originally started as just me and just kind of making some stuff, and then my buddy Francisco Vasquez and Angel Cano, aka Hecho and Islos and Mr. Paco's Bootlegs. So then they started making some shit too, and then DCA Toys, we kind of shared it, right? And then they kind of branched out and they started their own IG pages. So now go follow them.
For sure. That's the end, guys.
Yeah.
We'll do the plug again.
Okay,
Don't worry.
No.
Don't worry. Look at it.
Anyway, so it kind of branched out. I stayed as DCA Toys, and so now it's cool because they kind of have their own thing, and we could all just kind of share each other's work, and you know they have their own styles. Mr. Paco's bootlegs, Frank, he's more into like that He-Man style where he just makes these fucking crazy like characters that are, you know, this guy has a fucking saw for a hand and
What's that?
spikes and all this shit. It's fucking rad. And then Echonistos has this cool like fucking cholo vibe kind of, you know, like Islos
Like
shit.
Islos, yeah.
Yeah, you know,
That's
it's like hood stuff like. And so he found this shit on OfferUp, I think. It was super cheap, and he's
Love
like,
that story already.
yeah, he's like, bro,
What a
this
great
is what we're
idea.
gonna do. Yeah,
And that
and
was
it's
his
like,
idea?
yeah, he's like, dude, this is what we're gonna do.
It's so awesome.
So-
So what did he do? Damn, like, that was great.
Yeah, so he picked it up. He repainted it. We got decals thrown on it. So essentially, this vending machine, it's like a Japanese vending machine, just became ours. We called it the Magic Box, and so it has all these slots. So November of last year, there's this huge designer toy convention. It's called DesignerCon. And we took it out there, man. Like, we just filled it up. Luckily, there's a bunch of really good resin dudes in the scene. They donated a bunch of stuff to us, like just stuff that they had. You know, a lot of times when you're making like toys, sometimes you don't get perfect casts, or sometimes
Totally.
you know shit happens.
Because they're bootleg versions.
Yeah,
too.
they're
like,
yeah. So you know we put it out there.
Bootleg versions of the
Yeah,
bootleg.
yeah.
So,
It's like 3 degrees of separation.
yeah,
so-
totally.
So anyway, they sent us some stuff. We threw it in there. You know, more than anything, it was for people like just visitors because people were loving that thing.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
Genius.
Yeah, they were spending $1, but like the items were $1, but people were spending like maybe $10. You know, somebody spent like $16. And they're like, oh shit, like do it, man, like, you know. And we kept restocking it.
Sorry, I think it taps into like our universal excitement of being a kid, like it's or something, you know. And it's like you never grow out of that sort of like that idea that you're just gonna get something really magical for
sure.
a buck. You know?
Definitely. And it's like, and the whole thing of like, you know, putting the money in, like the whole physical
act of
doing it, you know,
totally.
cranking it out, you get something, you don't know what you're gonna get, which is the coolest shit.
Also, was it because I remember seeing it's like you can see everything.
Yeah, you can see everything,
but it's random pick.
So it's random pick.
Is that so you mechanized it to be a random pick? Like,
no, so the way that the slots were set up is it just had different like it's almost like the food vending machines. You know?
Yeah,
with
exactly.
With the spiral.
So you picked. Oh, okay. So it was randomly in the
randomly
stalls.
in there, yeah.
Got it.
So if you saw one that was kind of like towards the back, you were either like spending all the money or you had to come back and.
That's genius. It makes them come back.
And then so to take it even a further level, Mr. Paco's bootlegs, what he was doing is he was actually taping the bags shut, so you absolutely had no idea what was in those. Yeah, some of them you could tell what the figure was, or you know, if you had like the certain color. And then his were fucking insane. Like somebody found like fireworks in one. There was like smoke bombs. We're like, fucking like, how cool is that? You know,
that is cool.
For $1, you're just getting a resin figure that would probably cost you like $10. You know, buying it from an artist. But you're getting that, plus you're getting like other goodies.
Like little goodies.
Yeah, it was, So he came up with the idea of the vending machine, and we just.
Props to him, man. Props.
Yeah, knocked it out of the park.
So you said it was a Japanese. It was a Japanese vending machine.
Yeah, it was a Japanese.
That's
vending
even cooler.
machine.
I'm like dying over there.
Yeah, it's that Japanese style one. So I mean, you know, it takes quarters and everything. But I don't know who had it, what they were using it here for. Somebody just wanted to get rid of it.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. Yeah, so I love that. So what are you working on? What are you working on now?
Okay, so
that you can talk about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we have we got a booth again this year for DesignerCon. So we're planning that. Just
when is this one?
November again. Okay. It's every November they have it. This last year was at a bigger venue. It was at Anaheim. The years before it's been here in Pasadena. So. I work in Pasadena. It's pretty close, you know. It's just easier. It's a little bit more of a hassle driving out there.
I feel like DesignerCon was. Am I confusing it? No, WonderCon used to be in Anaheim.
I think so.
Yeah,
they moved
but
it to Long Beach.
Yes, they did. I did it. It wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. But DesignerCon, I feel like it's always been in I feel like I've been to a DesignerCon.
DesignerCon's always been in Pasadena.
Yeah.
And just last year they moved it to Anaheim.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they came back.
Yeah, they came back. Just bigger and,
Yeah, I like it better here. I feel like I went to I went to DesignerCon last year.
Yeah.
It just felt like a mission. And, the problem to me is that when there's too many cons, there's a lot of cons now. I feel like back in the day there was like Kamikaze, San Diego Comic-Con, and maybe WonderCon. Like, there just weren't so many. I think it's definitely just too many, so, like, you get less people because all the fans are just, like... And then now they have so many specific cons. Yeah. They have the horror one, they have the... You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like
it's... saturation.
The saturation's just sort of changed the dynamic of, like... Not the specialness, per se, but I think that original artists tend to get... sort of like flooded out with all these like bigger corporations that sort of take over. And
I think that was the vibe at, or at least the way some people felt about DesignerCon this year. That there was more like corporate sponsorship, I guess. And that's also kind of playing into where, as a business, as a company, you want to grow, But I think the whole thing with DesignerCon was more mom and pop, more like...
Exactly. And I remember that's when LA Comic-Con was Kamikaze. And I used to go. It was cooler because it just felt like there was just more OG people there that were really there.
It was tiny, too.
It was tiny, super small. Too. I remember. It was super small. It was nice. It was still at Staples, but it was like at the back.
Yeah. The other thing, too, with those, like... just blowing up is now like tickets are harder to get or they're more expensive or I think the one time I went to Kamikaze was like $10 or $15 and it was like
I think I got it on Groupon or something like 10 years ago. It was such a deal. That's what it was. And I was there for Star Wars stuff, but I remember it just felt really more mom and pop. And actually so did I feel like the DesignerCon too, like a few years ago. I don't know, I just feel like it's just I sometimes because I work on comics and stuff, and so now it just feels like, San Diego's insane,
For sure.
Like, I mean, it's fun. Yeah. Everyone should do it if they can. Yeah. But it's definitely overwhelming. And it's like, it starts on a Wednesday, Thursday, it doesn't end till Sunday. It's like a party full on. Yeah. And if you walk around the whole area, it's like nonstop after parties and night parties and... It's amazing. Yeah. It's an experience.
Definitely. And I don't know. I learned you have to have stamina for that. Like, just
Yeah. Yeah. You have to be like a parent at Disneyland. A bunch of kids doing it all day, getting it out, but it's exhausting. Yeah.
And you're running the laps of the whole con at least twice a day.
Yeah, to really see it.
Yeah. And even the shit you've seen before, it's like, well, I don't know, maybe I missed something.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, yeah.
I mean, I still love it. I have a love-hate relationship with it. If you're tabling, and sometimes it can be really exhausting. But, going for the first time.
That was the thing with tabling, too. It's like, I spent a lot,
Oh, yeah, sorry. That's what I was going to say, too, is like the prices have gone ridiculous. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Go back to what you're saying.
No, well,
that was my beef.
On prices too. Just like going to San Diego, parking prices alone is like $50 for the day. Just
bad.
And it's like So it's tabling, like for us, well, at least for me, I like to go out and just like look at the other vendors or people that I follow a lot of people on Instagram, so it's crazy to like oh, I see you're here. This is crazy. Like shit. Yeah,
What's up? Yeah. Isn't that weird? Like you get kind of excited over these like famous people in your mind.
Yeah, and then
they're real people.
Yeah, and it's sometimes you're like you don't even know their name, but you know like their Instagram handles. And you're
exactly.
Like, yay, yeah. So it's like, it's pretty cool. It's really fun. You get to meet people, and then a lot of it has to do with just like networking. A lot of shit just happens from there. Then you start talking about projects or just shit that you like to do, or like, oh, I love the way you fucking paint. Like, oh, I have this figure or whatever. Let's collab, shit like that. So, a lot of the time, I probably should spend more time at my booth like last year than going around, and just like buying shit. And
You're investing in other artists.
Yeah, I definitely am.
And you got enough heads there where you can kind of tap out. It's about having the homies to tap out.
Yeah, it's a support system, It's like the teamwork makes the dream work. That's definitely true.
Yeah, you definitely have a good, strong foundation of dudes. I mean, next time, definitely, we'll bring more dudes on. My table's too small.
Oh, no, for sure, man. I love those guys. Those guys are fucking all about the work, and that's what I'm about,
Me too.
Yeah. I mean, I like working with people, but I especially like working with people that like to work, that are ambitious, and are, like, all about it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like the older I get, the more that I feel like the stuff that I genuinely love to do, I will do it at any time when I'm not working. Mm-hmm. And I really love my job now, like my regular 9 to 5 that we all have to have. But yeah, it's like this whole last weekend I was working with my family on art and this, and I just felt like the whole weekend went by and I didn't even feel the need to like party, or I just feel like I want to create stuff and then celebrate the creation.
Yeah.
Kind of like this, like talk about it and meditate on what we're talking about and be inspired. And every time we've had these podcasts, I just feel super inspired at the end. It's like this like invigorating.
Yeah.
You feel so good. Yeah. You feel accomplished, and that like processing the things that we're doing and meeting people who inspire you. It just makes you want to like be more legit and represent yourself. Because I think that's what it is for me. I mean, you're always representing yourself in a way that I am very much drawn to, and I think I just want more of that so that I can represent myself that strongly.
Right. Which is really weird for me because like I feel like I don't know, like the whole thing is, you kind of have to be your top supporter. Like you have to push yourself. You have to put yourself out there. And it's kind of weird because it's like sometimes I feel like I'll post something on like Instagram, for instance. That's my only social media. It's just Instagram. So the cool thing about the stories now with Instagram is like you could just post, abundance of like pictures or this and that, and even then I still feel like I'm
too much, right?
Just flooding the shit with like
Yeah, it's something about it. I agree with you.
Yeah, but that's the only way to like do it. Like I kind of feel weird about it, but I'm still gonna do it because
me too. It's a struggle. It's like a weird what is it like? Talking about yourself. It's like, what's it called? The sin.
It's like being narcissistic.
Yeah, but it's the sin, the vanity. Kind of, it's vanity to me. Yeah. To me, it's vanity. It's like narcissistic. Yeah, definitely. And I do the same thing. Like, I'll just share jokes and stuff, or what I'm doing.
I fucking love.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The
Valentine's Day show was fucking great.
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah. I was just like...
Well, I have a lot of people who will like, keep going, Lonnie, and I'm like, dude, I'm
I was like, all right, dude, well, where's the next one? Like,
or I'll do the kids' stories, or kids will say stuff. Oh my God, you're like classic. Yeah, for sure. And I'll still do that, but like sometimes like you said, I've stopped myself. Like I'm like, nah, like it's too much about me. But I don't think people feel the way about. Well, duh. I don't think people feel the way that you feel about yourself. They feel about you. Like you feel that way, and I feel that. I think also we're old school. Mm-hmm. We came from a different generation. Mm-hmm. Not that we're that old, y'all.
I'm terribly old.
Terribly.
Yeah.
Nah, but I think, I just feel like, we weren't really raised to be like, look at me, like video, like blah, blah, like, so it's hard to be in this, they call us internet immigrants. Did you know that?
No.
So the idea is that...
It's the first I've heard of that.
Yeah,
actually.
so someone told me, so we're internet immigrants because we came into the internet, we knew the internet, but we were kind of like raised without the internet until we were probably like 10 or 11 and we had computers, but not everybody had computers in their house in the 90s.
Right.
And we still had green screen computers. Mm-hmm. We still had really basic computers. Mm-hmm. So because we don't know the internet language like this generation does, we're immigrants coming to it. So it's a really interesting, I really connected with that. And I said, yeah, it's totally... Another thing is, and this is a whole other part of that, is that they say that we're Xennials. Xennials. Okay. And Xennials are like, and don't quote me exactly, brother, you can look this up, please. It's Xennials with an Xinn. But Xennials, and they have different definitions of Xennials, but it's like people between 1978 or 1979 to 1987. And it's a small population of people who don't feel like they're Gen X, they're not millennials, because we were in this crazy period where we had pagers. The internet wasn't infiltrating our bloodstream. We weren't infected, but we did have video games, but we had the very beginning of video games.
Right.
So it's this like idea that we are not super old, but we can relate to grunge, hip hop, and all this stuff. But it's this weird like piece. And then after that is because I don't relate to the youngers either.
Yeah,
like and then when they try to put us in that, and you read about it, I'm like, that's not me at all.
For sure.
So I feel like there's this really small period where we were in this special sweet spot. Because I can't relate. Like, any kids, like, maybe 6 or 7 years older than me, like, they're not like that unless he's young. He's 6 or 7 years older than me. But he was, like, spoon-fed everything. Like, you know? Like, he was around us. He has an understanding of what it is, but most kids, I feel like, don't. You know, they just didn't get that after 1987, 1988. It's, like, different.
Right.
So I don't know why I went on that tangent. So...
It's fine.
This is what it's about.
Sure.
You just keep talking. But anyway, so back to you. Why did I go on the tangent? Brother, you're supposed to reel me back in. He just laughs. Anyway, so yeah, I wanted to give you the internet immigrant information because we were talking about, I guess, the artwork. I'm not even sure.
It's about not being vain.
Oh yeah, vanity.
Yeah.
See, fire.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's like a really thin line, you know, because like I'm definitely gonna put myself out there. I'm definitely gonna put my product out there, my artwork. You know, lately, this last couple of weeks, I've been printing. I've dusted off some old silk screens, and I think that's what I want to do this year. I'm just trying to push these like. Maybe reissue old designs that I had that I never really like went 100% with, you know? Like maybe I did a small run and I was kind of like, well, you know, I don't know, maybe I got discouraged or for whatever reason.
Life.
Yeah. So and it's the thing too with that's like right now, well, just with this weather, like this whole winter thing, like it's
this
kind
whole
of
so from California. This whole winter thing. This whole real
So-
thing right now.
Well, it snowed today. That's crazy.
Yeah,
like, you
it
know?
hailed and looked like snow, and I saw people made little snowmen. It was cute
That's yeah.
on the interwebs.
Yeah. So it kind of fucks with your resin, right? So I can't really be producing resin
really?
right now. Yeah.
So tell me.
So resin.
Resin. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's very aquaphobic. So any moisture in the air, it really fucks with the resin. Yeah.
So could you make some like dope room that's like
You can.
like an anti-humidifier?
Yeah. You
Sorry,
just,
it sounds like you're gonna look that up. Whatever they call
Bring
that
it just a
room.
bit.
Like not the humador, the opposite.
The opposite.
No, seriously, brother. What's the name of another room that's the opposite of an humador? You gotta turn that volume voice part off, bro.
I don't know, like
He'll look it up. He's boy genius.
Okay. Yeah.
He is. That's what we call him. That's what it is now, bro. You're just boy genius.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like Neutron, Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah. Oh, I went to Pinky and oh no, that's not Pinky. That's Jimmy
a
Neutron.
dehumidifier.
Oh, Donnie.
You're close.
That was
Super
close.
I have. Yeah.
There you go. We gotta get you the
All right.
dehumidifier.
There you go. Yeah. So it messes with the resin. It doesn't set right. Like it'll.
So
be
you've done it
ugly.
where it's sort of been like
Yeah.
tropical weather or whatever, and it's
when it's raining, it's terrible. So that it's kind of kept me indoors. So I've been doing a lot of digital artwork.
Okay.
And then I've been printing. So I've been doing these like shirts where it's like I just throw all these like colors, all this
I've seen
ink.
that.
Yeah. And so the thing is like going back to that whole posting a lot, it's like all of these shirts are one-off shirts, which means that no two shirts are printing the same. So it's like fuck, all of these shirts look fucking cool. At least I think they look really cool.
They look really cool.
Yeah, thanks. And so it's like I want to make sure that people understand that this is what this is like, you know, because it's like if I post one shirt, it's like, all right, that's just the way that shirt is. But it's like no, every single shirt, yeah, it's like a print. It's better than a print. Like
yeah, I agree. It's wearable.
Yeah. And it's wearable. Yeah. So it's like. So I started doing that, and I'm like, well, you know, I want to get back into printing. I want to get back into that kind of like the roots, I guess, you know? So that's what I'm focusing on this year. I think bringing out like more merchandise and just going back to the toys, trying to like perfect my toy making skills. Yeah, just different things like that.
Do you have some new ideas in terms of the toys that you're trying to work towards?
I do. I can't really share.
Oh,
just because,
excited!
Oh, it's
When withholding information is always exciting. Are you doing? Sorry, go ahead.
So I have I got invited to a show in April. So I have some pieces that I'm doing. Actually, it's in Pasadena. So
Oh, cool.
yeah. So I'm working on that show in April. It's a just all toy related show.
Can you talk about that show?
Yeah, I mean it's just artists. I can't say what I'm producing.
No, of course. But is it like is it a big commercialized event or is it something?
No,
smaller?
there's this gallery called Spaced Art Gallery, I think it's called.
Okay.
And so a bunch of like fellow resin makers are invited to it. Yeah,
That's
so
exciting.
and there's a theme to it. It's robots. So that'll be a little hint.
Is this a fairly new idea or is this like?
No, I think so. Every so often they have shows. Like there was one that just happened in New York, and these shows are incredible. It's just like unique artwork. A lot of people show up, and then they just buy like all this shit. It's like fuck, like yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely.
Boy Genius, we're gonna have to go.
Yeah, I'll send you the details once.
For sure, and then we can plug it.
Yeah.
We can plug it.
For
Oh
sure.
my god.
Yeah.
Excited.
So like making a toy takes some thinking, just because you want to make sure the pieces fit and it looks right, or like just different things.
What have you found was your favorite piece of
So far,
that you've made?
I think there's this piece that has been like. So I got this Buzz Lightyear figure. It's like a small little Buzz Lightyear, and then I put a Stormtrooper helmet on it.
Oh, I love that
as a
one.
head, and it's just like that's it.
Nice. I remember that one.
And I'm like, yeah.
So let me ask you, in terms of the actual resin, like, so are you throwing in like the glitter? Are you all the colors? Like, how does that even work?
So there's dyes and tints and just
That's so
paints
cool.
and stuff you could add to the resin.
So you're just melting it into
No,
this
so actually,
mold?
what it is, so the molds are silicone molds,
Okay.
similar to like an ice mold. That
Okay.
type. But obviously, you make your master figure, and then you pour the silicone, and then you cut it open. You take out your master, and you have your mold. So the resin, it's actually.
So I'm sorry. So you take bits and pieces of toys.
Mm-hmm.
You create the monster collabo mashup
Mm-hmm.
crazy thing. How do you actually adhere everything together?
bunch of things. You use glue. Crazy
Like
glue is
just
probably
crazy
the
glue?
crazy glue.
Yeah,
or
because you can't use glue gun because it's plastic.
you can. I mean, it just probably won't hold as well.
So, but it'll hold long enough to create a mold.
Yeah. So especially
Okay.
if it's a figure. Sometimes there's figures where it's like, oh, you don't really want to fuck with that.
Yeah, it's like chemically.
Yeah, or just a figure that's kind of like dear to your heart, or like
Oh, I
hard
get
to
it.
find.
Yeah, you love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So something like that, or clay. You could adhere with clay for a minute.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
But
So
it's more crazy glue.
Yeah, I think so.
Have you used Gorilla Glue?
Yeah, works the same.
It is, right?
Yeah. So, but the thing is too that you have to consider that if you don't really care for that, you just want to make the mold, then you're good. Whatever glue you're gonna use, because you can't take it apart afterwards, or if you can, it will just be damaged.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How
So-
big? How have you thought of making like really large molds?
This friend of mine.
I'm all nerdy on that. Like, I'd want to have like a massive.
This friend of mine made a
That's how they make dildos, huh?
that is how they make those. Yeah.
Cool.
Definitely.
Sorry.
I
Sorry.
mean, we can get into that too, but
Yeah, whatever, man.
I've
It's only an
never
hour.
made one, so-
Sorry, guys. That's another
It's all good.
episode.
So a friend of mine made a pretty
Daddy.
massive.
You're such a child right now, baby. We're adults
That's a
here.
great lead-in. They're pretty massive.
Oh, yes.
So let's just end it there.
And we're out.
Yeah, part 2.
You know.
No, he made like a
Massive.
Volkswagen bus.
Oh.
Yeah, and he threw these legs from AT-AT, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What?
it's this big, like it's
Dude.
enormous,
That's
and
insane, and it's like doing
yeah,
the walk.
yeah. So you can go as big as you want. It's just
You just need
cost
to
material
have like a gang of resin,
yeah, and silicone
and then silicone, and like, do you have to put it in a bin?
So what you do is there's so once you have your master,
Yeah.
then you make a box around it, depending on what it is. A lot of people use Legos. We use
Legos?
cardboard. Yeah, so you just build a box around it.
Wow, that's smart.
Yeah, because you can recycle the Legos. You just reuse them.
That's true.
You know, I use cardboard. I use the same cardboard I buy the resin in, so I just use that and make the box out of that.
Wow. And do you feel like would you have you thought about going bigger, or are you happy with like, the sizes that you do now?
The thing is too that it depends on what your piece is, because then, you know, depending on how much material, how much time, and, you know, everything you've invested into it, you also have to figure out a price for it, right? So it's like, fuck, if you don't sell this or
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just, and I've made pieces that it's like,
It's not worth.
no, I made pieces where I was like, dude, this is fucking killer. Like, I want to make fucking a bunch of them, and it was just crickets. Like,
Dude,
you know, nobody
I
gave a
get
shit.
that. I've had that happen where
Yeah.
I think something's gonna crack. I'm kind of like you, looking back on the old stuff I've done, and I know for whatever reason the first things I made sold, and I haven't really reflected as an artist. Like, you have to go where the money's at,
Yeah.
and that's where they say mostly. It's like not really where your heart is. It's like you throw out a bunch of stuff that you love, and then whatever hits is like the direction that the universe tells you. Like, yeah, this is what's trending, or this is what's hot right now.
Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes as an artist, you just want to do what you want to do.
Fuck yeah.
And then you have this idea that it's going to be, I don't know, like successful because of whatever you love.
Yeah, you fall in love with that idea of, like, you know, this being fucking great and amazing and whatever it is. Like, a lot of the times I try to make my toys a little bit more practical, where you could they actually have a function. Like, I'll tell you a
What do you
fail.
mean? Okay, yeah.
So a buddy of mine sent me this it's a Batman figure from, like, I think the 60s or 70s.
Oh, dope. Uh-huh.
And it's a parachute toy, right? It came with a parachute. So I molded it, and I was like, oh, cool. I was like, dude, this is perfect. And then I figured out how to make the parachutes themselves, and I was gonna
That's cool.
I was gonna throw on my version of the bat the bat logo on the parachutes, and I was like, all right, cool, I'll just use some string, whatever. And it's cool that they worked, right?
Whoa.
But I was like, hey guys, check this out. It's a Batman figure. Actually, you could actually play with it, whatever. And it was just like,
Nothing,
okay.
huh?
It's like, hey, that's cool. Like, all right.
I like it.
I'm like,
cool.
And then the thing too is, like, I like to have, like, so if I make one, I'd like to have, like, a run of, like, maybe 5 or 6, like, different colors, or different, like, a glow in the dark one, or because that way you could kind of give an example to people that, you know, hey, you could have it this way or whatever. Yeah. And so certain people like certain colors, certain people like certain things. Yeah, but it was like, all right. And I'm like, well, fuck. Oh, well. Like, that. And it's a little heartbreaking, but it's like, well, fuck, on to the next one. Like,
especially, so then you actually figured out I mean, not that the parachute's that hard, but, like, I guess you have to, like, make the pattern and cut the plastic.
That's the thing too, that it's more work on top of just casting it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And then
that's the thing too with packaging too. It's like, you know, your figure will probably do better if you have, like, nice packaging.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, you're selling it.
Yeah, and a lot of people paint this shit. I have no patience for painting figures. Like, I paint, like, on canvases or, you know, just flat surfaces, but for figures I'm just like, no.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I never thought about that either. The actual detail work. So what have you done that you didn't know was going to hit as hard as it did in it? Like, what's, like, your most successful piece, actually?
Let's see. That's a good question.
Like, I guess in different, I don't know however you view the success. I mean, I guess you would say monetarily the successes of what you've done, or like the reaction that you've had maybe from people too?
I think more than anything is just paintings, like paintings that I've made.
You're an awesome painter, dude.
Thank you.
Dude, I love, yeah, when we actually did a collaboration art show last year?
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, when I used to do stuff more
That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And just your glass paintings.
Yeah,
awesome.
that's what I think I've had, like, probably the most success, and I think those have been the pieces that I've enjoyed myself the most with.
Really?
Yeah, just the whole process of painting on glass is, like, totally. It was just a whole new thing that I needed to learn. It was just, you know, I had no idea what I was jumping into. Just, like, darkness of, you know, figuring
Well, I love
out.
when you do the picture. I mean, the windows.
Yeah.
the old windows with, I just think that just like tells a story or something.
Right. And the picture itself, like the very first one that I did was I found these old like picture windows, and the whole thought behind it was like, well, this could still work as a window if I use it as a window. So the painting was a girl inside of the window, so it's almost like you're kind of peeking in through her
That's
window.
beautiful. Yeah.
And I was like, and it just gives us this like intimacy of, it just, I thought it worked with the piece, so it's like, yeah, that's probably one of my favorite pieces.
And that could totally be a thing, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, kind of stepping away from what you're saying, they're talking about how, going to college and getting a degree and students in debt, and it's not really panning out for all these educated people. And they're talking about how, like, the arts are not being valued, or craftsmen or tradesmen, and so now there's this huge sort of deficit in craftsman work.
Right.
And like wood carving and plumbing and things that you need. And now I'm gonna get weird and spacey, but like robots can only do, I always go back to robots, and they're taking over the world because it's happening and no one's paying attention but me, and that's all I talk about.
Yes.
It is
This
kind
icon, whatever.
yeah, that's true. So my thing is that they can do all the automation, they can do all the basic stuff, but who's gonna come and fix the toilet? It's not going to be a robot right now. And so that's where we're going, and that's where the money's actually going to fall back on, is people that can actually rewire something that
trades.
a robot can't be automated. It's too many. It'll happen eventually. It's coming. But right now it's basic stuff. It's like just motorizing really basic things, or calling and using automation for phone calls, or for filing, or for alphabetization, or basic finances. But like the stuff like you're doing, painting windows and creating something really unique, that's not something that like a robot's, AI, it's coming too. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's kind of, but the stuff that we do, I feel like there is going to be this kickback of, just people are going to want to pay more now. It's going to flip. People are going to want to pay more for the things that robots can't do.
Right.
And I guess what I like is that you're creating this like really unique piece of artwork, and it could be a whole. I always go into like a series of things like women in the mirror, or I'm sorry, women in the windows, or whatever.
No, I had a thought about like eventually I want to build a house of just painted like windows.
That
and
would be a
shit.
trip, dude.
I'm like, man, like it's kind of like one of those.
That's super.
One of those things
dope.
that you build up to, but eventually, like I think I have maybe
Trademarked.
4. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you heard it
definitely.
here.
You're first,
right now.
Yeah. So it's it's just projects that you kind of think about and you kind of like work towards, and
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not something that you could build overnight. It's not something that you can just do. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna do this. Even a painting is, at least for me, it's pretty exhausting, because it takes, it takes a lot of layers. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of I don't know. Like, I really try to focus on little pieces at a time, and I think that. I wanted to show certain aspects, certain details, certain things to give it life.
Yeah.
It's and just thinking about like, okay, maybe I want the light, to come from a certain angle, or different things. Like, especially sometimes I look at a lot of my inspiration for like my paintings have been women, and so a lot of the times I'll find myself with black and white images, and it's like, fuck, how do I turn this into a color portrait? And it's like, and what colors would be there, and what colors would even exist in this painting,
And then is it also dependent on the actual medium that you're putting it on, right?
Well, that's the other thing too, that glass, like when you're painting on glass, you're doing like thin layers. And then you have to be super careful, because you could easily brush off the layer underneath, right? And it's like, fuck, it's so tedious and it's so like delicate, and it also kind of lends itself to the final piece, because it's like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like it could all just disappear in 1 second, you know?
Yeah. It's so delicate.
Fragile and delicate and
And important then.
And the fact that it's painting on glass, it's like the glass could break at any minute.
Yeah.
You know, and it all goes away. So fucking hours of work, it's like
gone.
And
Does that happen?
Yeah, hell yeah. It's fucking it's
my
the worst.
God, it breaks my heart.
So bad, dude. It's so bad.
That would be painful.
Yeah, I had this piece
That's
that
why I
was
only paint plastic. No, I'm kidding.
or canvas or or skateboards.
Yeah, skateboard. Boom.
Yeah. So last year I started a piece, and I started doing the like underwork and just, you know, blocking
layers
out certain things and stuff, and I was like, all right, I happened to just kind of lean it against something, and I was like, all right, it'll be fine. I turn around and then I just see this thing like start crumbling down. I was like,
dang.
and it was so slow. I was just like, oh.
You didn't catch it?
Yeah, no, I couldn't. And then at one point I was just like, I can't do anything. I just had to surrender myself to fucking knowing that it's
Was it
done
meant
with.
to be?
Yeah.
Was it a really old piece of glass?
It was an old window. Yeah, it was a really old window.
That's
and
what it
was a
is.
single pane. It was pretty big, and it's heartbreaking.
It is.
Yeah, it's fucking sad.
Losing pieces sucks. I know that happened too. You just, like you said, you have to surrender to the gods, to the artistic gods.
Like,
It's not meant to be.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's bad. It's really bad. It's like, but you know, again, like, you know, you hold on to it, you think about it sometimes, and you know, but you gotta move on.
Yeah. So now, with the screening that you're doing, is it you're just bringing back old stuff, or do you have some?
So I have some new stuff that I'm trying to work on. I started kind of working out. Like, a buddy of mine's been training me, so I was trying to see if I could kind of enter that market, you know? Just make something.
That's okay.
Just make something for
Smart.
like, you know. I was just like, I have no idea what the hell this market's about, and I'm just kind of testing the waters, you know. So we'll see how that goes. This shirt's pretty cool. It just says to lift and die in LA.
Yeah, it's smart.
Yeah.
It's a good play on words. We're so
cool.
LA, you know?
That's the thing, too. And I'm like, my kind of selling point is like that LA. So somebody's already going to be like, all right.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that it's clever enough to, you know. And mostly the thing is, it's also like sometimes at least this piece is not something that I'm too like in love with. I'm like, it's cool.
You mean the image and the idea?
Right. But I kind of want to do it more to just help me fund other stuff.
That's smart.
You know, so.
Well, and I like it because you're being inspired by some other new thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
Which is working out.
Right.
That's kind of, I mean, not new, but I feel like it's starting to become like a forefront for you. And
yeah, it is actually. I try to ride my bike as much as possible. Dude, I'm telling you, this fucking weather is now like, I wake up in the morning, like, so I usually have to wake up an hour earlier if I want to ride my bike, right? But it's like, I wake up and it's like,
And where do you ride from where to where?
So in the mornings, like, I'll hop on the train.
Okay. With the bike?
Yeah, with the bike.
Okay.
Because it'll take me like 2 hours to get to work. If I ride, it's like, fuck that. And
Yeah,
plus,
it's not a Little House on the Prairie, y'all.
yeah, not at all.
doing
Plus,
that.
I don't want to be, at work all disgusting and sweaty.
Yeah, it's not cute
it's
at
not
all.
Cool.
And they don't have a shower there, right?
Oh, no,
You just gotta
it's
hose
an
off
office,
to the
but
back.
yeah, I'm just like wiping myself in the restroom and shit. So no. So it's cool because I can ride home. You know, I try to create a path where it's like I'm actually giving myself a challenge. So like my commute home would be 10 miles, but I'll ride 20 miles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like I'll go out of my way to find, you know, to kind of go around.
roundabout.
Yeah, to make it worth it.
That's true.
Yeah. So I'll wake up and it's like 6 in the morning and it's like 38 degrees outside. I'm like, fuck. I know somebody probably listening to this from the Midwest or somewhere is
forget
like,
about it.
Yeah.
They're like LA folks.
Yeah.
Whatever. But LA folks are like,
I'm a bitch.
oh my
it's
God.
Fine. Yeah, it's fine. I'm a bitch. It's fucking 38 degrees. I'm fucking sorry. Like, fuck. I want to ride, but it's just too fucking cold.
Dude, I feel you.
Yeah. And then
but then people from LA are like, oh my God, that's freezing.
Right? Yeah, I agree with them. Yeah. Like, yeah. So then, and I also get an extra hour to sleep. So I'm like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah. Or whatever.
Yeah. So.
You could sleep when you're dead.
Yeah. So I like to ride my bike as much as I can. So yeah, this whole like, you know, just kind of doing like CrossFit and more like, you know.
Oh, you're doing the
lifting
CrossFit
weights.
too?
Yeah, trying to do some CrossFit.
How do you like it?
I like it.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like there was this huge influx of CrossFit people, and now there's like the tsunami of the anti-CrossFit people. There's always the I hate versus the the new thing.
Right.
But you know, I haven't really gotten into CrossFit. I just spin and go hiking. But
spin's fun.
spin, I love spinning.
Yeah.
It kicks ass. Spin, team spin.
Yeah, well, and I don't do it for like, oh shit, let's get this CrossFit.
Nah, you're not team. Nah, you don't have your team CrossFit.
Yeah, but it's like, well, not yet.
Team CrossFit fire that way.
Yeah. That's next. That's next.
It is next.
Yeah, no.
Drop in here, first time.
No, like me and my buds used to play soccer a lot, and then like everybody has families, you know, and it's like we can't get together for that. So yeah, like this, you know, just working out, like fuck, you feel like so much better.
You feel
like
so much better.
Yeah.
You inspire me, bro. I've been kind of MIA because of all my new stuff.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of like, because I like it's a lot of work, but now I'm like.
Yeah.
See?
No, and the thing is too, it's just kind of life gets in the way, or not in the way, but it's just life happens, you know. It's like,
you gotta push it though. You gotta be like, nah, still like, yeah, because you feel so much better after. Like you're just
you really do.
Yeah, you're just like I can't even. I don't know. Like you're like, yeah, this is what life's supposed to feel like, or something.
Yeah, and I'm in a weird spot right now where it's like, well, not too much right now, but like I started getting rid of a lot of clothes, and so it's like now I'm like kind of in between. Where it's
okay.
Like a shirt fits me really, really big, or it still fits me a little tight, and it's like,
you're in that middle.
I'm like, yeah, I'm alright. So I'm just kind of like, alright.
That's exciting.
It is exciting because it's cool.
God,
But the other thing is too is like, fuck, some of my favorite shirts I can't wear anymore because they're like way too big. I'm like, I don't want to.
Just make them crop tops.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking. Or I was gonna turn them into back patches, but crop top is a way better.
Crop top.
Yeah.
Or back patches for all the hoodies.
Yeah, for all the hoodies.
You know, for all the punk shows that you still go to. No, I know, I get it.
Yeah.
I know, dude. I love t-shirts too, but like, I guess just because like, you know, as you get older, unless you're stick skinny or girl, like long boy shirts don't look cute when you're older in the same way, you know, like.
Yeah.
But some of I'll buy some shirts and then I'm like, I'm not gonna wear this, and it's too big, but the fucking graph on it is so dope. Like,
yeah, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. And you know what makes me mad, and everyone's gonna hear this right now, is boy shirts are always cooler than girl shirts. Always. In all the stores. Anytime there's like a girl section. Aw, thanks, bro. He's wearing my shirt.
I don't check out too many girl shirts, but
you don't have to. That's the point. Is I'll go and like they'll have like, for example, they have like Sublime shirts, and they have the best designs for Sublime, and then they have these like weird versions that are weird colors and like the worst graphics. It's just like, and that's a weird example, but point being, I just feel like even band shirts, they'll have like a band shirt, and the guy shirt is just so much better, graph wise, color wise. The placement. Don't even get me started on placement. The girls are just like a little tiny logo, and it's a T, and it's the same price. And you're like, dude, this dude has this whole image. Even the back, they'll have like a front and a back, and like the girl will just have like a pocket, and it's not even that big, and it's just. I might as well just buy a black shirt.
And what's that pocket for?
I don't know. I just mean, it's not even a pocket. What I mean is it's at the pocket.
Okay.
The design.
Yeah.
But they won't even have like a back. Or they'll have something here, but they won't have it. It's like they just think girls don't care.
Yeah.
And girls care.
Is that a girl shirt? That's a fucking rad ass shirt.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a girl shirt.
Okay, so.
Well, I don't know. I think they cut it. It was a boy shirt.
No.
Anyways, yeah, it's a rad shirt. I agree. But it's hard to find rad shirts for girls, is my point.
So you have to make your own.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm getting back there. It's, you know what it is? You know, you have to like, what's the word? I think it's like you just you have to pick a lane for a little while. Mm-hmm. For me.
You do.
For it to be really successful and actually have follow through, because for me, I'm a spaz and I like doing.
You know, on that point, I'm pretty sure you've experienced this before. Like, if I kind of think of something and I'm like, so like if I have an idea and I'm like, well, okay, that might be cool to make or to do. I'm like, wait, I think I can do it if I do this and that. And then it's like, if I get to a point where I'm like maybe 2 or 3 steps into like completion, I'm like fucking obsessed. I'm like, I have to fucking do this.
Yeah.
Like, I have to either design this like right now, no matter where I am, like I'll start fucking doing it. or I'll start searching through eBay for parts, or whatever, and it's like an obsession. Like,
Yeah, I
so,
get obsessed.
I guess and nothing else matters really.
Yeah, it's about completing. Well, I think I'm way better at that. I think I learned a few years ago that follow through is key.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I was younger, in my 20s, it was like I had these ideas, and they were sort of ideas, and I didn't understand how to get there. Mm-hmm. And then I was one of those people who are like, well, I can't do it today because of this, or I can't do it today because of that. Like, in my 20s, I think it was just like partying or like doing things with my friends or like whatever was always in the way. And I just feel like I never really followed through on the things I wanted to do as an artist. And I don't know what happened, but I feel like I hit this point where I was like, I just need to do this shit now. Mm-hmm. It's like what you're saying. Like, even this, it took a long time because the holidays got in the way. But if the holidays hadn't been in the way, this would have already been happening a few months back. And I mean, I think this is the perfect timing for what I'm doing now. But like what you're saying, it's like, it's an obsession. Yeah. I think about it all the time now. Yeah. Like everything that I want to do and accomplish. And also like your people. Mm-hmm. And the people that you surround yourself with makes a huge freaking difference.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's definitely surrounding myself with people who want to complete things and obsess over things and enjoy it. And I'm all about, I love to celebrate and party. And I think like for me now, that's the end. Mm-hmm. It's not the beginning. Right. It's not in the middle.
Or in the middle, yeah.
It's not like, oh, we're almost there. Let's go get beers.
Yeah.
Like, and then we'll finish it. Yeah. We'll be cool. Yeah. Like, no. Yeah. It's like, I already know myself. I've done this before.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, no. Yeah, definitely. That's the thing, too, where I think this last like few months and stuff, I've been kind of like, fuck. It's kind of shit that I've already done. It's like, partying and all that stuff, it's cool, but it's like, it almost doesn't change. It's almost like the same thing. It's like, well, you could be productive. And I enjoy being productive a little bit more than that now.
I agree.
And it's like, it's so much more satisfying than,
I agree.
And, you save so much fucking money.
Oh, I know, dude. Yeah. I look back. I mean, and it was meant to happen, and I have no regrets for sure. But I don't.
Definitely not.
I don't. Yeah. I mean, it got me to where I am now, but you just said something that I've never said out loud that I think I've thought of in my head for a while. Is it feels better. Yeah. Like, it's better now. Like, because this always, like, the partying, it always ends the same. Mm-hmm. And before, that was exciting and great. And I remember waking up like, oh my God, I'm still at my friend's house.
Yeah. And we're doing it again.
We're making breakfast and mimosas. Yeah. And oh my God.
Which is all fun and everything.
It's great. And then we napped and it's 3 and we're doing it again. Yeah. And I mean, and that's great or whatever. But yeah, it always just ends the same. Yeah. And this does not end the same. Yeah. Every time. And that's the difference.
Yeah. So it's like, for instance, that shirt, the last shirt that I made is my first shirt, my first design.
Which shirt was it?
The To Lift and Die in LA.
Okay.
It's my first design I've done in like a while. Like, I haven't made a silk screen in a while. I made silk screens for friends and other people, and
you're always. And what I love about you too is you're always showing love to other people. Oh, Are those your designs too?
Sometimes it's friends' designs that I just kind of facilitate and like help them get it done or whatever.
And this is at your pad at your spot.
No. So everybody has jobs. Everybody doesn't have time too much.
I don't know. Some people. I'll call. Like.
Why are you looking at your brother?
No, I know, right? Nah, bro has jobs. He's a hustler like me. Yeah. He's got multiple jobs.
And that's what it's about, like, because it's not just, especially if you have a team, or especially if you're part of a team, you need to help them out the same way that they help you out.
Word.
So like, I mean, whatever. And then also it helps other people out because then you're giving them business. You're making, like, a buddy of mine used to work for a silkscreen company. And so I would just go to him, I'm like, hey man, instead of me going to downtown and, I'd rather just pay him, he'll get it done, and then this little scratch for him.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I pulled away from you said you have a job, but in terms of the design. To Lift and Die in LA.
Okay, so that came about like, so I was drinking a little bit, and I was just kind of thinking about like, fuck, like what, I was just thinking like, brainstorming, whatever. Okay. And then I was like, and then that's when that came out. I'm like, oh shit, that'd be fucking kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then that whole
I
night,
like how you did it too.
that whole night I just spent like
Working on it.
Well, yeah, because it's like it's you have to also work with composition, how it's gonna look on a shirt and whatever, But so that was a Friday night, and this was just this last week, this present day.
And your theme is bootlegging. So
Yeah.
What programs are you using? Are you using bootleg programs too?
To tell you the truth, like I did that whole design on my phone.
What?
Yeah, it's just apps, and it's the fucking beauty, going back to technology and robots and whatever. It's just like this. They are also tools.
Absolutely.
And it's like
if we were kids and we had this.
Oh fuck, man!
Imagine where we. Yeah. I thought.
Dude, I used to hand draw my shirts or the shirt designs, and I used to take them and.
Dude, I still do that.
Yeah.
I still hand draw all my comics, and my poor partner Mark has to. Yeah, that was hand drawn. Well, my poor Mark, but Mark had to make it into robot language.
Yeah.
Because I gotta speak robot language. I'm so.
Oh no, I still. Nothing beats pencil and paper.
Analog all day.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah.
Exactly. That's another shit right there.
I know. I actually we can talk about.
We'll talk about that later.
we gotta do our collab because I have a whole book.
I was
of analog.
thinking right now for analog. Yeah.
Yeah, not analog. Analog, guys.
But that's another one.
That's a whole other dildos.
Yeah, that's part 2. This is gonna be a part 2.
Boy genius, I'm breaking his brain.
Yeah,
sorry.
So that whole process of making that shirt took like 3 days, and it only took that long because the weekend happened. I had shit to do. Yeah, and I was like, fuck. So
it's like I had to go party with other people.
I finished the design on
Work
Friday.
out and bike.
I'm like, yeah, there you go. That's a party now.
Yeah. No, but F you because you go get beers.
Oh, well,
TMI.
yeah, you gotta.
Or TFI, thanks for the TFI. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hashtag.
Yeah.
Hashtag that.
No, but I'll see when I give you props. Is like you'll Instagram your bike ride, and then you'll Instagram your beer spot, and I'm like, oh, you ass.
Well,
I love it.
Yeah.
So how far are you from? You're in East Los, right?
I'm in Montebello.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
you bike from I know we're not we totally jumped, but
Yeah.
you bike from Montebello out to go to the breweries or whatever, like where out like
It just depends.
Dry riverbed, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Which is not a bad ride. It's like 10 miles.
See, that's awesome. Okay.
I don't know. I don't.
So not like to be like, oh, it's only 10 miles.
Yeah. So.
That's cool though. I guess I gotta get on that wavelength.
Yeah.
It's only 25 miles, guys. No big deal. It's sorry. Okay, so go back. So the apps that you're using.
Oh, 3 apps. And I pay for. I bought an app called Procreate. I think it was like $10 or something.
Yeah.
And I just haven't. I feel overwhelmed by it. Like I feel like fucking intimidated by it because I know it's great. And the thing is that I know I have to spend time with it.
You need mental space to be ready to do stuff. I get it.
And this other app that I'm using, like I kind of already spent the time, so I could already like this and that.
Yeah,
like what I need.
It's like home.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, gosh.
Yeah, you're right. Because I think you brought up Procreate to me even a long time ago. So I think it's in the back of your head. And it's like you just gotta.
And I paid for it, so it's like, fuck. Why don't you get in there? Like, do it. I
pay for something and I don't use it.
Yeah, and I paid for it because I know it's a great program. My buddy Renee uses it, and he does fucking great work, great digital work. And that's another thing too. Like digital artwork is like it's a whole.
I know it's a whole other monster beast.
Yeah.
Like I want to get in there too. But at the same time, I really love that I've kind of stayed kind of raw. Because my best friend in San Francisco, she is an amazing graphic artist.
Okay.
But I think she's like definitely, like she said, sort of like, she's so much in that realm now. And because she gets paid to be a graphic artist, she has a very specific way of creating things.
Okay.
And so I think...
Do you think that limits her, like, creativity,
I think it doesn't limit... I think it's just she thinks a certain way process-wise.
Okay.
Which is the way that you need to think to make money.
Okay.
As an artist.
Okay.
But as a creator for other people's content.
Okay.
And so I she and I are very different in the way that we create our artwork now. And she's an amazing... I'm not even saying this because... she's an amazing artist, like a freehand, like illustrator. She can capture people, but I don't think she even values like her own private work because she's so inundated with what she's supposed to do for like the world as a professional. But her work is amazing. Like outside of that, I mean, she has amazing work professionally, but I think her work when she's just doodling is like. But I think that it's also like when you work in the field that you love. It's kind of like I never wanted to be a professional DJ because I didn't want anyone to come up to me and ask me to play the new Ja Rule because I would sock them in their face.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to have Ja Rule on my phone. Or on vinyl, which I probably have Ja Rule just because I buy so many compilations.
Right, yeah.
But I don't know I do. You know, I don't have murder in my hand. You know, and it's strange because I don't dislike Ashanti at all. But I can't stand Ja Rule, so just everyone know that. Never buy me any Ja Rule. And I'm
Ja Rule.
right? And I'm gonna get Ja, especially after the fire thing. Like, did you see those?
It's hilarious.
It's so wrong.
Yeah.
But I just think he looks so bad, I think, on that.
Yeah.
The way that they he's just there like with the models.
Yeah,
He's just
the
such a
thing is
dick.
too, it's almost like this is like your comeback, like
Exactly.
fucking-
That wasn't even his comeback. And I heard he invested in some other like very similar idea recently too, you know. But it's just like but then I saw he's in concert. He's like in LA like this week
shit.
or something
like
with
a
a
swap meet
Shanti.
or what?
No, dude, like the
full on,
Shanti
like-
concert, like they're doing something, and I'm like, really murdering.
Who's there?
What do you mean? It's
Like-
Ashanti and Ja Rule. I don't know. I was never into Murder Inc. So I never felt them. I mean, I have no hatred on the Ashanti. I mean, she's whatever. Like, she's fine. She just was that part of them, you know? I just wasn't, anyway. So, I don't know how I started. I could go on. I know my other homie's rolling right now. When he hears this, because like, he knows how much I hate Ja Rule. And then after he came out on that on that show, it's been crazy, you know? So anyways, going back,
Lengthy Ja Rule segment.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm
Anyway,
cool.
so yeah. So where were we?
No idea.
Technology.
Oh, yeah, your app. Sorry. Okay.
No, just, using technology to your advantage. Because that's what it is. They're tools, like everything.
Yeah, do you think that you're going to expand on that and kind of create more from that? Is that part of your goals this year?
Yes. Part of my goals is to... So, I don't really set... like this whole New Year's resolution thing, I don't really fuck with that. But what I do is kind of set certain goals, right? And the goals that I try to set for myself are not like crazy, not because I don't want anything big or but it's just because I want to make sure that it's achievable and that I keep myself focused to complete them.
And realistic.
Exactly. And I just feel that by doing so, then I actually end up accomplishing more. So I've set myself a goal where, like, I want to do one kind of big thing every month for the year.
Wow, that's big.
So far I've been on it.
What was January?
January, let's see. So January was designing artwork so I designed 2 pieces of artwork. And then that kind of bled into February too.
Okay.
So I designed some artwork for other people, like one of them is a buddy of mine. He's a rapper, so I think he's gonna use it.
I love it.
I think he's gonna use it in some sort of, some connection with his new
When you posted,
album.
I was like, "Did you do this?" Because then I think I saw it on his, but then I saw someone else share it, and I was like, and I didn't see you tag yourself in it.
Yeah.
Or maybe the way I saw it, it didn't look like you did it. So go ahead.
It's cool.
So
And
what did you
it's
do?
like, so I did some artwork for them. And
For who?
For Mad Max. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So I just because I want people to know exactly. what I'm
Yeah,
talking
for
about.
sure. So then...
Yeah, that was a great. You really can capture people.
You think so?
Yeah, I suck at that. Like, I haven't really tried that hard, but I don't have. It doesn't.
And, you know, I and that's not my strong suit, and I really think I don't like. My thing is people's faces and like hands are the worst thing for me.
Hands suck, dude.
Like, yeah, I'm terrible at it.
Yeah,
so.
that's something I don't want to talk about hands.
Yeah.
Then everyone's gonna look at all my hand art. Oh yeah,
start deleting all this shit. She was right.
Like, I can't unfollow. Her hands blow.
Yeah. So I've been doing that. So
that was amazing,
and it's not. Thank you.
It looks sick, dude. The colors on that too.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Is like, I'm like, I really want to fuck with just shit. That's the cool thing about digital artwork, that you could just kind of like, you know, it allows you to erase. Where a painting, it's not as much, you know.
Well, you just have to redo it.
Yeah. So. Yeah. You know, so I wanted...
Which I kind of love, too. Uh-huh. There's something about, like, fuck.
Yeah.
I gotta do this. Like, it's work. I know it's, like, work. Hard. Like, but I think there's a patience in it that we have.
Yeah.
That other, like, youngsters won't have. Because they won't understand a process of evolution in your artwork. And then sometimes you'll hate it more, but sometimes you'll love it more because you'll have to go 10 steps back to go 20 steps ahead, you know?
Yeah.
But I hear you.
And that's weird because I have patience for certain things and I don't have patience for other things.
So for painting?
For painting, I do. I don't have patience for wasting time. It's the fucking, it's like my pet peeve.
So you don't look at it as process? Like,
I know, I do.
The process?
Yeah, definitely. Especially when you're painting, but it's just like, I don't know, like I hate... So I like riding my bike to work, or you know, riding home from work, because I'm doing something. Because otherwise, I live 10 miles away from my job, but it takes me an hour to get home.
Huh.
So that whole hour is just me sitting in traffic.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's like I feel so fucking useless for that hour, and I'm trying to listen to podcasts, or I'm trying to do something like either creative or productive or just something
meaningful,
and it's just like, oh, fuck this, like, you know. And it's LA for you, you know, no matter where you go. But yeah, it's
and that's not even anything compared to a lot of people that have to commute.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
You know, I think my roommate, she works in Silmar. Takes her an hour.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then when it's raining, forget about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a mission.
Oh, no, definitely. Yeah.
Like, so, that's insane.
Yeah, and I'm not the prime example for that. But I'm just saying, like, dude,
but
that's like,
you're saying.
Yeah, like, you know, or even like sometimes, like I used to be, for a while I didn't have a car, so I just used to take the train. And it was cool because then I could do like some sketches in the train or just listen to music.
And something about living around people and like
definitely.
Connection.
Yeah, like that energy. Just, you know, I'm just fucking weirdos on the train or whatever. It's like it makes the commute exciting, or just, you know. But yeah, so that's my thing. Like, if I could be doing something with, you know, a certain amount of time, like, I definitely want to push that. I don't want to just be sitting there like I'm like, fuck, like not doing anything, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not to say that I don't like to just kind of relax, because that's another part of it, right? It's like you have to give yourself time to like just chill out and fucking think about nothing. Exactly. And it's like, all right, cool, like do that, you know. But then you have, because time is the resource that you cannot, you know, get back. And it's like, and that's,
I hear you.
I appreciate time so much.
Me too.
You know, like I hate fucking wasting time, you know. And
I'm the same way in that way. Yeah, you make a good point. So, okay, so I guess my final question is, because you're on First Among Equals, the idea is kind of, because we've been kind of meditating on a lot of the same conversation, is what do you think this year is your first? Like, what do you think is one of your biggest and primary goals that you're trying to accomplish?
So I just want to be, okay, so I have a goal of making at least 4 designs this year.
Okay. Your own
shirt designs.
Okay.
Yeah, just ideas that I've had that I kind of want to bring out. And you know, a lot of the times, like, I just think of, maybe it's a bad business move, but it's just like, I just want to wear this fucking shirt. Like, that's it. And it's like, fuck, if people like it, if I sell a couple of them and it pays for the,
yeah,
you know,
you're an artist.
I'm like,
that's
dude,
what that
fuck
is.
it, like, I don't care, you know. And it's fine, like, okay, so I want to do that. You know, and unexpectedly, like I got invited to that show in April. So boom, like that's another kind of like,
that's your April, right? Like,
so it's like, yeah. So it's like, I just want to keep productive and be on the radar so that I hit those goals and I hit like just to make myself more, you know, I just like to work. Yeah, it sounds fucking
And create.
yeah, and create like, you know, the whole process of turning an idea into something physical, you know, it's so fulfilling. It's so like
I agree.
yeah, it's fucking great.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Well, I want to say thank you so much for coming on the
thank
show.
you. This is fucking great.
I know.
Yeah.
So, where can we find you? And if you can plug away.
Plug away. So Instagram, really, DCA Toys. You can find our web store there. Links to the other DCA members, Echonislos, Mr. Paco's Bootlegs, Monster Elector. We're all there.
DCA clothing as well.
DCA Clothing. I fucking lost the password to that Instagram account, so I'll figure it out someday.
One day.
Don't fucking take it. I
yeah.
still have it somewhere.
Nah, it's there.
Yeah.
I feel like you're still on
I don't
there.
know.
I follow you on there.
Yeah, I haven't logged on since, I don't know, like 2 years.
What?
Yeah, I forgot the password, and I don't know the.
You're hilarious.
I don't know
right
the
now.
email, so it's like terrible, you know.
Okay, so DCA Toys.
DCA Toys on Instagram, and that's pretty much it. I had to get a Facebook because of Instagram and like advertise
we
and
all
shit,
do
but
that.
I don't use it. Like,
Russians.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
This is Lonnie. I'm gonna like plug my name like it's sad now. We're here with Boy Genius Danny
Yo.
and.
R2 DCA.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. See you next time and peace out.
Peace. All right.